and I'm joined here with Velocity today.
Hello.
Again, and yeah, I mean it's the French Grand Prix, pretty frustrating track in real life, certainly to watch. We've
Pretty
had,
bland one to drive as well.
yeah, I mean the first appearance of Circuit Paul Ricard was in 2018. That was won by Lewis Hamilton in a very boring race. And then last year, 2019, won by Lewis Hamilton.
To be honest,
in a very boring race.
I want to see rain today, or else
100%.
we're not going to be seeing any crashes. We're not going to see any.
We'll probably see, a lot of DRS trains, a lot of overtakes. If there is that, if it is dry. But yeah, I mean, it's a track where there can be rain a lot on this game, and I think it'll be good if we do have some rain, as you said.
I'm hoping for rain. Droftas is going to be hoping for rain. Me and him are going to be doing our little rain dance together. So
yeah, it's not even like, obviously we don't really, we have no allegiance to whether Chapelele or Droftas wins, but it's just the fact that this track, I think what's frustrating about it is that it's very unpunishing. The only thing that you can sort of get punished by around this track is track limits, but in terms of if you make a mistake, it's very difficult to go off into the wall. Of course, if you hit another driver, then it doesn't matter, and turn one, I think, will be the only real challenging bit, and lack of concentration as well around here, because as you say, it's quite boring to even drive around, especially if you're sort of in no man's land, not having any battles.
I think if you're battling, this race goes very, very quickly.
Oh, 100%, yeah. But if you're not, it's a real slog. So yeah, I think we've got 17 or 18 drivers. We've got 18, I think, for qualifying. So yeah, hopefully should be a entertaining race. I mean, so far all the tracks that we presumed were going to be boring, they've managed to make exciting.
We do have a pretty exciting grid, to be fair. Emerson's back here from last week, the guy who managed to make something really of not the best performance from him, really.
Yeah, well, he'd be 7th in the championship if he wasn't in reserve right now, which is quite incredible considering he's not done that many races. It is worth noting as well that we are round. This is the 14th race of the 15th race of the season. So after there are 7 races to go in the calendar. So we are in the final stretch of the season. Last time out, I think Chapelele is now on a run of 3 wins in a row, or at least 2 wins in a row, because he won last time out in Bahrain, and then he won Belgium as well. So he'll be looking to continue to build, even though Droftas can afford to, just get as low as 4th every race and still win the championship. He'll be looking to, finish strongly and build into next season, because at the moment it's looking for next season, like Chapelele. It's not going to have many challenges. Also, we've got One returning. You might remember One from Season 1, where he was the main challenger to Dan Murphy for the championship battle. Of course, Dan Murphy did prevail on that and was our Season 1 championship champion, and he is racing tonight, actually. We've also got Tango, who always seems to have a decent race up until his internet inevitably disconnects. So yeah, and we look like we've just lost a driver as soon as we ready up. That's fantastic. You'll love to see it.
Oh, well, it was Droftas.
Oh, well, he'll have time to join back in qualifying and stuff. We don't have dumb rules like other leagues do in terms of having you're not allowed to rejoin in qualifying. So yeah, we go into the French Grand Prix then, and into this qualifying session. All I will say is that I think Paul the Orange is going to be quite quick around here, from what I've seen when I did some practice with him. He was quicker than Pillars actually around here.
Well, he's one of those drivers who improve every single week. He's just getting quicker and quicker and quicker.
Indeed, he is. Also, we got Phil back. He's missed the past couple of races, I think. So we haven't seen the Phil gang though for at least 4 or 5 races. So I think they've they got tired of Phil, unfortunately, which is sad to see. But I guess he hasn't really delivered the goods this season in terms of what he promised at the start of the season. They had quite a decent start to the season. He's still yet to be on the podium, though.
He's a bit of a qualifying merchant, if I don't say.
Yeah, he does a lot better in quality. Oh, that looks like... if anyone in the comments could tell us if we're expecting rain or not, because that looks very dark cloud. To me, anyway. So, we will have to see. But so I presume everyone will be rushing out, although they don't seem in too much of a hurry.
Rain at the end by Thingy.
Thingy? Who's Thingy? Just
by Energetics.
Ah, okay. just clarify. Yeah, so I'm surprised people aren't coming out a bit quicker, but I guess if it's at the end of the session you can risk it, but still.
Apparently, Droftas can't reconnect, so I'm just going to shoot him another invite. Not sure.
That would be frustrating for his championship battle. I mean, he could afford to miss a race, but he wouldn't want to when he's available to do so, would he? First out, is that going to be Andreas? It is.
I have shot him another invite. He did disappear off my friend's list straight away, so he might be resetting his PS4 or might have just given up. In terms of track position, who's out first?
Andreas is out first. He quite often is, to be fair. Behind him, we've got... who's that behind him? It's Liamia. Liamia is behind him. And then we've got the Ferrari of Phil Razor. And then followed by his teammate Paulie Orange. And then the Red Bull of Chapelele. This track just, as well, I think visually looks poor for a race
They need
track.
to add, like, I said this in a party, a lava pit.
Yes, you
on
did,
the edge of the tracks.
Well, it's
just to spice it up a little bit, you know.
And with all the runoff area, you know, it's the fact it's just ridiculous amounts of runoff area, all painted in this weird blue striped. I think it looks absolutely crap. And I think if you look at other tracks, from a bird's eye view, you think, you know, you look at Austria, Hungary, whatever, you know, any of these great tracks, Silverstone, you look at that and you go, wow, that looks amazing. France, just looking at it with all these runoff area, with all this stupid paint and everything, you think that just looks pathetic. And it is.
And Phil Gang is back.
Oh, Phil Gang is back.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. We thought they'd abandoned Phil.
To be fair,
because of his form.
Sector 1 is quite a nice one to drive and possibly be on board with. Turn 1 and 2, honestly, very technically demanding, just to not invalidate and hook up those both corners. Andreas seems to be doing it very nicely, going very wide though.
I thought those first two corners were excellently done, but then again, you're in a better position than me to tell to know whether he did that. But that looks very smooth, and as you say, very easy to invalidate. Now onto this long overtaking straight, the first DRS straight.
There we go. Can take a little bit more curb there on the inside, but just overshooting, maybe braking a little bit too late going into there, getting a good run though out, and we will see, because he's obviously going to be setting the benchmark, but whether he's going to be the quickest after, because obviously I think we've got Liam,
both Ferraris
right behind him,
and Chapelele.
So we got Phil promised us a top 5 to try and win us back.
Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it did seem like the love had gone a bit. As we see Andreas come around the final corner now. I find that final corner quite tricky because you have to go in quite slow and get the right amount of traction out of that corner. Andreas to set the first time, and it's going to be a 1:28.5. Liam will be next to cross the line. He does a 1:29.6.
So
Phil goes second. Paulie Orange is next to cross the line. He goes fastest with a 1:28.2. What about Chapelele? He's gone fastest now with a 1:28.1, a tenth quicker.
Only by a tenth though. I think this is his smallest margin he's had for a while. Whether that's a good or bad lap for him. But the next man across the line is going to be Fatality. And then after that, we're going to be having Tango. come across. I don't think we are going to be getting Droftas back in. He does still say he's in the pits, but I haven't seen him join back yet.
You know what? That's got to be encouraging for the Orange, only being the 10th off Chapelet. What can Tango do though? He can only go 6th fastest at 1:29.052. We got Alan. He won't be the next one across the line. I think Abyssus will. Then it will be One. Abyssus goes 3rd fastest, 1:28.2. Emerson's just starting his lap. Alan comes across the line, and he goes.
Rapid.
Wow!
That's
2nd fastest, and look at the gap there between.
The gap between 1st and 4th is something really.
And again, I know. Obviously, we haven't got Droftas, although he does say he's in the session. But again, it's sort of that Red Bull Alpha Towery battle with poorly Orange in this occasion chucked in the middle of it, isn't it?
Well, we've got Orange. Dan saying Orange for podium. He's done about 20 practice sessions this week. So
yeah, Pillars was telling me
there.
the same, and I did one of those practice sessions with him actually, so I can confirm that he's rapid round here. So I'd expect him to do well, but of course the race is very different to, anything can happen in the race. But I certainly think he'd finish quite high up in qualifying.
So where do you think he's going to go? Because it's looking close. Do you reckon he's going to be able to?
I reckon he will be
pull the trigger and get himself.
I reckon P3.
We're definitely going to go into the 27s.
Yeah, not yet though. I don't think.
No,
I reckon
whether we are going to, I don't know.
I'm going to call it as a 1:28.202 for Emerson.
I'm going to go with a 28.1. I think he'll sit in about
This
P3.
Is looking good. It is, wow. I said we weren't going to break into the 27s early, but that's 0.3 quicker than anyone else, Emerson. 1:27.861. Very impressive indeed. Also worth mentioning, One's put in a lap. He's done a 1:28.603. We've also, and that's it. Energetics is on an out lap. He'll be the next one to set a lap. And what we know from Energetics is he likes to do quite a few laps, doesn't he, on his quali? It's never just, his first lap is the time he does, because it's always quite slow. He likes to fuel up and sort of get a feel for the track.
Well, we've got Leonardo saying when Phil was young, his parents used to sleep on his bed when they were scared. Interesting bit of trivia there about Phil. And Droftas said he can't be asked. Very unfortunate there
that's
for
a shame,
the AlphaTauri man.
He's quite often in hotels when he does these races. So
no, he's back in Wales today apparently.
So is Wales apparently worse than a crappy hotel room for internet connection? It's not a great advertisement for Wales. Please, Welsh lot, do not kill me for saying that. It's all banter, please. We've got Gerben on outlap, Noldy on outlap. One flying at the moment. Energetics will be the first one on a flying. Slow exit into the final corner. And begins his lap now. What I will do with Energetics actually, just to see if this is... Oh, he's already invalidated. Right, so that was Energetics, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. German will be the next one on the flying. Let's see if he can do a little bit longer than
Droftas. I got a PS5. I want to play Assassin's Creed.
Fair enough.
I mean, he's got the gap to do it.
Oh, and the Alpha Tower.
That is Droftas actually.
Yeah, Droftas.
He is about.
He looks angry.
So
his car looks angry.
He's gonna come out. He's gonna smash in a P1 time, switch over consoles, and then. Well, I don't know if he's playing on PS5 or not, but if he's playing on the PS5, can we just pretend it's because he's got higher frame rates?
Yeah, well,
so
if he wins, that's the only reason why.
Well, apparently his outlap has taken 5 minutes and 50 seconds so far.
That's pretty quick.
So.
So German has just invalidated, so
Noldy's also invalidated.
Well, that's really nice of the drivers to just give us no opportunity So
we've got One on an outlap, and we've got Droftas on an outlap as well.
Yeah, well,
although
it doesn't
say Droftas.
No, it says he's on the flying, and he's 6 minutes 20 in. This is going to be a worldie of a lap, I think. Maybe that's the PS5 that adds on like 6 minutes to your lap time. It's a bit harsh if you ask me, but you know.
You know, that's what you get for paying, what, 600, 500, 600 quid.
Yeah. Indeed it is.
And here we go. For a lap.
His helmet suits the AlphaTauri quite well, actually, haven't it?
Yeah, see, F1 Esports one.
Yeah. Well, Droftas is starting his lap, although... Yeah, okay, there we go. We have now got confirmation that he's starting his lap.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well,
and that's going to be an aborted one there.
Yeah, that's an abortion. Kerman is invalidating a second lap. Nosey is on a second flying lap.
One is on another flying lap as well.
We'll sit on board with Nosey first because he hasn't set a time lap yet.
And we've got Dan just coming out onto his outlap, so actually not leaving it too late. And One has taken an interesting line there. Somehow hasn't invalidated. But you
Nosey coming down to the end of Sector 2 now on the chicane where Danny Rick cut the whole corner and overtook two cars, and everyone was crying by the fact that he got a penalty for it. Just a reminder, folks, you have to drive within the track limits. It's not, you can't overtake over. That's just illegal. It's not good racing. I remember how many people got annoyed at that in 2019. I was like, how? It's like, you can't just drive off the track. Sorry, a bit of a rant there, but yeah. Emerson's retired, he's safely through. Yeah, I think so with the 127.8. Should just be enough, 3 tenths quicker than Chapelele. Nosey now coming into the final sector. This tricky last sequence of corners. On the throttle. And to cross the line, what will Nosey set? It's going to be a 129 flat. So he is second slowest of the time.
Great.
Laps. German has invalidated his second lap. Dan Murphy starts his lap now. The
German's not having a nice time,
Season
is
1
he?
championship. Yeah, no, I don't blame him though, because it's so easy to invalidate around here. But yeah, he'll be frustrated with that, because obviously, even if you use the same set of tyres, it wears them and you waste fuel. You waste time. I think more than anything, it's time, and it's that pressure of not having a time on the board. But yeah.
Right, we've got 2 weaving cars in front of Dan. Let's just hope they notice him.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be quite spectacular. I do like the rainbow on the halo. I must admit, I've just changed to the.
Well, they're on quite a few of the cars, I think.
Yeah, but on the McLaren, because of the colour scheme, it just looks a lot better. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, it's on the Williams. I know that.
Yeah, but it doesn't look as good. I'm on about it looking good. All right. God, disgraceful. Bit tentative on the throttle through there. This is a tricky corner because if you go
Leonardo
wide...
said, who do you guys reckon is favourite for this race?
It's difficult to say race because we haven't even done qualifying yet, but I'd say favourite for pole. I'd say between Emerson, Chapelele, Paulie Orange. Maybe Elan in there.
I want to say Paulie Orange for the win tonight. I just want to do a bit of a different one.
Yeah, no, and he has had a lot of practice here. FTH just done his first time lap, 129.422, as we saw Dan Murphy did a 129.363. But Dan Murphy is going again. If we just check his... Yeah, he is going again. So, yeah, he is up on his time, so I think that was just a banker and he's going again. Droftas, of course, he aborted that first attempt. He's currently... I don't believe that time... I think he's lagging so much that it's not giving us accurate times. This is what happened when...
Well, he's not actually using ERS, Droftas.
But, maybe that is it. But even so, it did a similar thing with Young Lights when he did qualifying because of the lag. So it might be a bit of both. Yeah, Dan Murphy is up again on his middle sector. He's definitely going to improve as long as he doesn't mess up this final. There's a car in front of him, and that is a as Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, can't quite
it's
tell
gonna
from
be
the mini-map. It's a
Phil.
Ferrari. Yeah, it's a Ferrari of Phil. Who's Phil currently sitting 8th for the 128.854. Dan coming into the final few corners. We'll keep an eye on if Phil improves his time as well, because I'm not sure if he was on.
He's going to improve, but it's not going to be.
Phil does improve
anything.
to a 128.2, but Dan Murphy does not improve by much, as you say. But yeah, Phil improved to a 128.298. Very respectable
There we go.
time.
Droftassi is on a lap at the moment. As well, just in terms of sector times, I have nothing because we're gonna be going over the sector 2 scanning thing, and it's a purple sector 2. Sorry,
2. Get your sectors right, Christ.
There's only 3 of them, and I can still mess them up.
Yeah. So that PS5 giving him extra downforce, it seems. Extra engine power. If he is, of course, on the PS5, we're not 100% sure. We'll ask him.
I would assume
if he is on the podium.
He'll be on the podium, surely. It's Droftas you're on about.
Yeah, he's very rarely. Him and Chapellet are the most common customers up there. Droftas going to cross the line now, and it's a 28.3. And that'll be enough to put him through.
Should be safe, yeah.
Yeah,
but...
no, that'll comfortably be enough to get him through.
Oh, Gurman hasn't invalidated his first.
Yeah, usually he does it right at the start,
corners.
so that's promising. He needs to put in a lap time. Gurman was going through a decent run of form, and I know he's doing really well in other leagues, such as in ALR Silver. He's done purple first sector. So, and he is quick, so the invalidations will be frustrating for him as Chapellet retires. So we'll stay on board with Gurman because he is currently in the drop zone. Knowlesy's retired. I'm not sure he's safe. But he's retired in the pit lane, so obviously thinks he is. Droftas is retired.
That's interesting because
he's not safe at all.
Wait, he's crashed out.
He has. Sector 2. We'll get a view from the Ferrari of... Is it Phil? No, it's Paulie
Orange.
Yeah,
how's he done that?
He's at the side of the... That's a very odd place to bin it. I can't
and Gurman's actually invalidated again.
Oh goodness, he'll be fuming. That's him out.
No, he might have enough.
Out.
No, he has enough fuel to go one more.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's definitely Droftas out. I don't know how he's binned it there. Did you see the car? Because I couldn't see the car. I could see it on the map, but I couldn't see where it was.
It was right over at the left, so like halfway down the straight, it looked like he just flew off the track and into the wall.
What do you think did that? That just like lost the rear, or
the PS5?
The PS5 just too advanced. It just caused him to crash. We're gonna stay on board with Gurman because he's the only one who could escape. Well, Liam actually could escape that bottom, that elimination zone as well.
He's invalidated.
Well, he can't. But Droftas is going to have no chance regardless because, unfortunately for him, he's out. He's lost his wheel. I wonder if he'll say anything in the comments about that. Keep an eye on that, Velocity.
Droftas has been nailed, apparently.
Oh, good on him. He got laid. Fair enough.
By who? We don't know.
No.
Dan, if you want to give us any more information on our CIA investigation on it,
very much.
I'll be more than happy to take this information and run with it.
Worth noting, actually, Paulie Orange improved again. He's second fastest, 127.902. Just
Chapellet hasn't improved.
No, he retired quite early on, though. To be fair, the session, but still, yeah, Paulie Orange showing that.
Oh, he's not going to invalidate.
Yeah, Gurman hasn't invalidated. So this is actually going to be a time on the board, but will that time on the board be enough? Let's see, comes to the line. It's going to be enough. He's through into Q2. So real heart in your mouth time there for Gurman, but he's made it through, and we lose FTH. Well, we lose Droftas as well, actually. There'll only be 14 drivers in Q2. So we lose Droftas, who binned it, FTH, Liam, and F1 Farth. Farth didn't put in a lap time. He didn't leave the pit lane. Very odd.
Well, we're just waiting on the two Scandinavians to be wheeled into the garage. Yeah, well, what's your take on it then? What's your take on Q1?
Well, Paulie Orange is showing the pace that I expected of him, to be honest, based off all the practice that we heard he was doing and the practice that I witnessed when I did that session with him. Emerson, you always expect to be quick. The only thing I would say is Chapelele in third is surprising. Maybe not going full beans in Q1. I presume he won't be going full beans, but even so, it gives a bit of hope that that there might be for Emerson and Paulie Orange. And don't rule Alan out of this as well. And look how close it is, right down to P7. Look at those gaps. Very close in between.
I've just been sent inside information now.
Oh,
I'll give this a watch and come back to you.
Oh, okay, of what happened. Yes, if you'd explain that. Also, feel free to send the video to me. So I'm guessing perhaps there was an incident then with Droftas. If what I'm hearing is correct. Well, I'm assuming from sort of the chatter about it that perhaps there was an incident with Droftas.
Interesting. Yeah. The Haas just ripped off Droftas's wheel.
Which Haas was this?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's only one Haas at the moment.
Oh, that would have been One.
Yeah.
Was it? What was the video? What happened in the video?
Well, he was just driving slowly. The Haas just sort of knocked off his wheel. Just drove alongside, took his wheel and ran. I think that's the best way to just. I don't know. You'd have to see from One's POV whether it was intentional or not.
It'd be interesting to see that footage myself.
It looked very weird. It looked. I'm not going to throw accusations at all, but.
Well, let's hope that Chapelele hasn't paid someone to take Drifter out.
Well, we did speak about this last week, didn't we?
He was joking about it.
The hell is going on there?
Who is first now? It is the first person out, Chapelele, yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a muddle up on the pit exit, actually, that you completely missed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think Energetics came out first, maybe didn't get on the throttle. Andreas then was slow behind him, and Chapelele overtook them both on the pit exit.
Interesting. Well, as a result of that, Chapelele we're gonna be on board for him for his lap. He's on the medium tyres. In fact, everyone is on the medium tyres except for two drivers, and those two drivers are One and also Chapelele's teleported to the pits.
Wait, how's he managed that?
That usually happens when you disconnect, but it hasn't said he's left the session. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm very confused right now what's going on, because we were on board for Chapelele. I guess Energetics has forced him to teleport so we can go on board with him for the first lap. I guess that's the only explanation.
Well, I mean, I didn't know France was in the Bermuda Triangle, to be fair, but you know.
Neither. Well, actually, it wouldn't surprise me if the circuit was, with all those lines on the side of the circuit.
And now we've got One coming round and going straight into the pits. I don't know what's happening.
Sorcery. There's definitely some sorcery going on. Let's hope to see some actual sorcery, though, in terms of some excellent driving rather than these weird phenomenons going on. Energetics starts his lap then. We're on board with him. On the medium tyre, everyone on the medium tyres, as I said. One was on the soft, but he's come into the pits. The medium is definitely the tyre of choice by the looks of it. Energetics with a 22.4 through there. The next person behind him is Andreas, his teammate. Not sure what he did for his first sector time, but we'll stay on board with Energetics anyway. And we got a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that's just someone backing up. It is. And Energetics going as close as he can to the edge of those track limits, taking a different line there to Andreas. Getting the Scandinavians mixed up then, that's scandalous. Energetics then around this long looping corner, carry a lot of speed through there. And this corner He's kept it within the track limits to the final sector. Energetics is going to set the banker for Q2. Bit of a lock-up. And he went slightly deeper into that corner, perhaps he would have liked. But it comes across the line now, and it's going to be a 1:29.2. And his teammate is going to set a 1:29.6, so he's quicker than his teammate. Then we've got Alan with a 1:29.2. Next across the line, we've got Emerson. What can he do? He was quickest in Q1. He's quickest in Q2. 1:28.720. Wow, that's nearly 5/10 quicker than Energetics. Thoughts on that?
I'm surprised it's only that, because I know Hilker's turned off his line recently. Whether that's gone back on for this lap, or he's absolutely smashed it, I'm not sure.
Well, Tango's definitely not on a flying... well, he did set the time, but it definitely wasn't an ideal time as he Phil invalidated, and German's about to start his out lap. So we've had 7 times so far, but not all of them representative. Dan Murphy's invalidated. German's now the next one on our lap. So we'll go on board with him. And he's invalidated. Oh, he had such problems in Q1 with invalidations, didn't he? And now seems like that's continuing into Q2.
Chapelele back on the track, and it's going past the pit lane now, so...
Well, I wonder if he'll teleport again. I don't know how on earth that happened. It's on stream. I wasn't making it up, but... look how close he goes to the track limits there. That is a proper esports line if I've ever seen one. And he's invalidated. But the point remains, okay? But yeah, he's invalidated. And at the moment, 9 minutes to go. He's had 1 lap where he's teleported back into the pits, and another one where he's invalidated. Abbas is about to start his flying lap. Dan's invalidated his. German's invalidated his. So we'll stick on board with Abbasis at the moment. As Emerson comes back to the pits. Looks like there's a bit of traffic in Sector 3, judging by the map. But a lot of people going into the pits now. Abbasis does a purple. Yeah. That's impressive. Of course, he did get pole position in his first ever race. That was in Canada. Let's not forget. Chat's gone very quiet. Bit of a...
yeah, there's not much happening at the moment. I mean, there's not...
It's a lowered attendance as well in terms of views than we usually get. We usually average about 14 per race, but only 6. We're not lonely, I promise. Dan's retired.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's in the pit lane. Dan always does this, and it really baffles me.
Oh, there's poorly orange.
Dan, if you're in the YouTube chat still, if you're still watching the stream, please do explain why you always seem to retire in Q2 or not do any laps a lot of the time. It does seem a bit odd. But anyway, Abbasis now to cross the line. Time is he going to set on the mediums? It's going to be a 1:29.5. That puts him 5th fastest. Phil is on an outlap. We've also got One.
Oh, Leonardo's still here. He just put still here. He's checking in.
No, that's good to hear. But yeah, I'm wondering if Dan's in. Oh, One's gone horribly wide there after he did
a new line
first. Well, he did do a purple first in the end, but yeah, he's going to be compromised in Sector 2. But yeah, in terms of why Dan does that.
Well,
so yeah,
I've just got Leonardo saying Phil doesn't have enough money to keep paying the other members of Phil Gang, so he's only kept me on the payroll.
Yeah, One invalidated there. Yeah, it does explain a lot, as Abbas is going for another one, I think, because he's slightly improved. Yeah, Energetic's not doing his usual 25 laps before he sets a time.
Well, I'd be pretty happy with what he set there, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe...
no, it's a good time, I think. Especially judging by the other ones in front. Abasis is going for another flying. He's looking quick. He's improving at the moment on this lap. We'll see what he can do. We've also got Phil on a lap. We'll switch to him in a second. He's in Sector 2 at the moment. Abasis out the final corner. Is this going to be an improvement in the end? It is going to just be an improvement at 29.4. So he's improved by 0.028. Phil hasn't invalidated. He's on his lap. He's in Sector 3.
Well, we just got Becca appear in the chat. Only a 28.7 from Emerson. Not good enough from him.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no.
He's about a tenth off my time on TT, and he's on a medium tyre, so... but then again, that might just be me being slow. I suck at TT, I really do.
You just suck at racing, if I'm being honest.
What can I say? I love sucking. Phil on the final final straight. What's he going to set? It's a 1:29.561, and he is 6th place. And German starting his lap. He'll be hoping to shake off the curse of invalidation. And then Becca clarifying she's just been sarcastic. But, you know, to be honest, you're right, it's not good enough. He's only P1. Yeah. German is going to be desperate not to invalidate again. He's already had 1 invalidation in Q2, and about 3 or 4 in Q1, so... we've got 13 viewers now. It's almost like everyone heard my plea for more viewers, and they just suddenly come.
Your voice is boring velocity. Can you get a? Yeah, sorry. I'll go to the fucking doctors next week and just order myself a new voice.
You do need to change that. Get that changed immediately. It's incredibly frustrating. German gets us a purple sector 2, so if he doesn't invalidate here, he's got a good chance of putting in a competitive lap time. But of course, the thing that's really cost him. Always he goes really wide there, but. The thing that's really costing him at the moment isn't his pace, it's the fact that he's invalidating around here. It is incredibly easy to do, of course, but that's sort of what's setting him back at the moment. But he's in the final sector now, and a bit of a lock-up doesn't seem to have compromised him too much. Into the final corner, he has invalidated at least, that's progress for him. Chapelele still hasn't set a lap time, actually, worth noting, with 4 minutes remaining. And German comes across the line, that's a good time, 1:29.523. And that puts him 6th fastest. So currently in the drop zone, Fatality, Dan, who didn't set a time, One, and Chapelele. We've had 11 times so far. Nolsey's on an in-lap. We've got One on an out-lap at the moment. So he's about to start his flying lap. Involved in an incident we're hearing with Droftas, the championship leader, in Q1, in circumstances I'm sure that will be investigated after the race. Seemed very odd, according to what Velocity is saying anyway, but, you know, who can trust him? One then into the first couple of corners now. Good acceleration. Down to this really tricky corner, so easy to overshoot. Also don't want to turn in too early and invalidate. And he stays in 3rd gear there and has gone incredibly wide.
You've done that every single run, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he did that for his first run, which he eventually invalidated. But, yeah, it does seem to be a trademark of One. Maybe it's a Norwegian thing, we don't know. Yeah, also worth noting is Nolsey's retired in the pits. Guess he thinks he's not going to improve. Yeah, Fatality and Phil Razor are the only ones. One does a purple middle sector, but yeah, Phil Razor and Fatality the only ones so far that have done times on the softs.
So, what do you think One is going to place then? Inside the top 10, I'd assume he's looking pretty decent for it. To be honest, I think this might be a pole lap.
I think P3.
This is gonna be a no.
Oh, bang on! Get in there, Lewis. Yes, 1:29.1 is 3rd. What can I say? I just know these things, don't I?
Chapelele's coming out of the pits now.
Let's ignore the fact.
He's going to be joining
Droftas, yeah,
Droftas.
towards the back. Well, they'll be behind each other. Well, Droftas will be behind Chapelele on the grid, but 14th and 15th. Also worth noting that although despite my amazing claim of Ono being 3rd, we still are yet to get the pole sitter right this entire season.
I got it backwards.
That doesn't count. We're talking about the person on pole, not like first, second, third. You don't get any extra points for that. We're talking pole. As I accidentally go off Chapelele for a second, but he's about to start his flying lap, and he's invalidated his out lap. Oh no! Oh no! Devastating. But yeah, no. He'll have one shot of this, won't he?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It
it's
is what
another
they
how's
call...
your bottle, but he likes it.
Yeah, it's a shit or bust time for Chapelele. Well, you say he likes it, but he didn't quite often in Q3 this season.
Yeah, but that's Q3. That's
Although
different gravy.
He has got a pole this season, which made his life a lot easier.
But Dan apparently can't do comms next on Saturday because he's working. So, just like to publicly say, complete letdown. Who works? I don't.
Chapelele starting his lap then. Let's talk us through it, Velocity. Let's hope he doesn't invalidate, because otherwise it's going to be the shortest talk through ever.
Well, he smashed the turn 1 and 2. I feel like that's the quickest I've seen it done all day. He's going to get a purple sector 1 if he keeps going, because it's absolutely rapid. No, he's hooked this up brilliantly, and it's not even a purple sector 1. I'm drunk.
One has the purple first sector. He did a...
Yeah, but One cheats. One decides he's doing a different track to us.
Fatality's just done quickest, although he's on the soft tyre with a 128.22. That puts Andreas into the drop zone.
I'm just
also,
watching
they're very dark
Chapelele's time, and it's bang on.
Yeah, that's a purple.
There we go.
Sector.
That's a legitimate purple as well.
Also, do you reckon rain for Q3? Because look at those clouds.
Yeah, Energetics did say, if you did listen to me at the start of
No, I did, but I wasn't sure if it was end of Q1 or end of qualifying in general. You
it didn't
clarify that.
No, if it didn't appear at Q1, it would definitely be qualified.
No, la. Chapelele to the final sector.
Right, he's going to go pole here. Well, it's P2.
And Chapelele then... round the final corner, let's see. I got my P3 prediction right for One at the time. What about Chapelele? It is P2. So, Velocity getting that time right, and he's the fastest of the medium runners. That means, as it stands, Tango Andreas... yeah, he is. So, we've lost quite a few big drivers.
Well, they're all big drivers, really, aren't they? There's no...
I'm not going to comment on their weight. But we've lost... Tango, Andreas, Nolsey, and Dan Murphy, and so in Q3 for the final shootout, you have Phil Razor, Gurman, Abbasis, Alan, Energetics, One, Paulie Orange, Emerson, Chapelele, and Fatality. Just seeing.
Well, we've got all German P1 and 2. That's the only Germans we've actually got in the league, and 1 and 2.
One's decided to give himself a race ban. Apparently he was just trying to scare Droftas and it resulted in contact. That's the inside information.
Tango appearing in the comment section saying, no, the Haas is exploiting the track limits at the end of the first sector, so I've been knocked out because of it. Ooh.
It is a bit dodgy, to be fair. It's literally off the track limits and going wide, but it obviously does gain you time because he did have the fastest first sector. So I do understand the grievance there from Tango, but it is raining for Q3, and at least Tango, you will have the benefit of fresh tyres. P11's not the worst position to start in, but yeah, it is raining, and DRS has just been disabled.
He's had a bit of a Magnussen, I feel like, moment where. Maybe at the weekend, not all drivers slowed down for the yellow flags, and he ended up getting knocked out as he did. But at this point in time, there's not much we can really do about that.
No, unfortunately not. That's just a game exploit. We will potentially look into it, but yeah, Gurman is the first out, and his thought, he's really bombing out of that pit lane. Actually, I guess obviously if it's going to rain the entire session. Your best chance of pole is being the first one out, isn't it? Because in terms of the track getting wetter and wetter.
Always.
Not always, but a lot of the
drier.
time. Energetics has gone out on the softs. That is a moronic decision. DRS has been disabled. I'm not going to mince my words there. DRS has been disabled. The track is clearly intermediates. Energetics has decided to commit suicide. As we see an unbelievable side-by-side action between Emerson and the Red Bull. I'm not sure if that's Chapelele or Elan.
It is. If you use your eyes, it's Chapelele.
Yeah, well, I don't actually know. Look, it could have been Abyssus as well.
Are you blind?
It could have been Abyssus. He's in a Red Bull as well.
It literally says in front Chapelele. I'm just saying.
Where does it say in front Chapelele?
Oh, you're on a different camera angle. I do apologise.
Oh, that's just slander. Absolute slander from my co-commentator. But yeah, as he's going to be the first one on a lap, it will be German. So if you could talk us through this lap, because I am bursting for the toilet.
Right, so as we've got Gunman going out of the final corner, just trying to give himself the best possible run line up for the straightest line after the start finish. Obviously it's a lot better, further back than last year. Catches me out all the time, but braking slightly earlier obviously because it is wet conditions, hooking this up nicely, getting on the power, getting a bit of oversteer there, but it's going to cost him a little bit of time, but not too much because obviously it's raining. Again, maybe not taking as much of the apex as he would like, but we are seeing it's a pretty solid sector 1, as we do have Chapelele though going purple again after him. So, but Chapelele is a bit of a miracle man. I think he's quality in the rain, but here we go, smashing that apex there, coming through the hairpin. There's yellow flags in sector 3. I'm not sure what they're for though. Gunman looking pretty comfortable actually in these wet conditions. Whether his setup is a hybrid or just a purely dry setup, we'll find out in the race. But he's gone very, very wide. He's managed just to avoid invalidating that there. It's going to cost him quite a bit of time. He will be probably looking to go for another lap. You do want to be shifting up early to keep yourself gripping onto the surface around this track, but he's going to be coming around the final corner now, and I do think it will be a pretty provisional pole time obviously, but I do think Chapelele is going to beat it by maybe half a second or so, but it's a 140.3. Chapelele is going to come. There you go.
Wow, yeah. Emerson with a 140.5. That's significant. We've got Paulie Orange coming across the line. It's a 140.5. Chapelele's miles clear of everyone at the moment, isn't he? And surely the track's only going to get wetter, so that might stay that way. And it's a huge gap to make up. Elan goes second fastest with 140.2. We're on board with Phil. He's coming down to the final corner now. Let's see what he can do, because it looks like no one's going to be able to get near Chapelele. Although this looks okay from Phil, I think it will still be a 140 though. It is. It's a 140.5. We then got Fatality, and it's a 140.8. And Abyssus will be the last one out on track to set the time. And Energetics has really screwed himself over. I don't know why he went out on the softs, because it's cost him. Because I think realistically the best he might now get is P8. Do you have any explanation of why he's done that? Any theory?
He's a bit of a shitbox in rain, is Energetics, but
he hasn't made it easier for himself though, has he?
No.
Unless he's banking on it being dry at the end of end of the quali, but everyone else has gone out. So that makes
saying he's been robbed a pole here. To be honest, I do back it. I do think he may 100%. Have been robbed a pole. But Leonardo again with another fun fact about Phil. One day Phil was late and arrived. One day Phil arrived late at school. The other students were then penalised because they arrived too early.
Wow. That is incredible. The more you know. Paulie Orange has just gone second fastest.
I do love that. I do like that.
That was good. Paulie Orange has just gone second fastest with 139.6. So he looks like he's the only one who's going to be able to get closest to Chapelele at the moment. We've got Emerson still out there. Emerson's gone purple in the first sector. He's 4/10 up on his time, and purple in the first sector. So we're going to keep on board with Emerson then, as Velocity recovers from that fact from Leonardo.
Well, I'm just thinking as well, that was a brilliant line, but I'm also thinking Droftas is going to have a fun race here. Maybe one of the more boring tracks, but he's got to come through the grid.
I don't think Chapelele will mind too much if at this rate, with him having pole and having a boring race. Emerson isn't purple in the middle, but he was purple in the first sector.
I don't think he will have a boring race, if I'm being honest, especially if it's dry conditions. He's going to have Emerson and Paulie Orange behind him by the looks of things. And
true, Paulie Orange is looking very slow. And as is Emerson. And Alan as well. I mean, look at the difference at the moment between Alan and Emerson's time.
Well,
Alan's
I don't think that difference isn't...
No, but he's been consistently fourth in all the qualifying sessions so far in France. So
he's never been able to challenge for the podium, though. That's the thing.
Yes, he has. He's got podiums before.
I'm wrong.
Got a podium in Abu Dhabi.
Right, here we go. This is going to be a 39-something now. There you go, 39.5, P2.
Paulie Orange, though, is up on his time. He's now coming across the line. And it's a 39.473. That puts him back to P2.
I have a weird feeling it's a bit of a battle for P2.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Phil is up on his time by 4/10 in that middle sector. Oh, but a bit of a tentative line through there. Got to be careful not to get too much on this curve. Looked quite tentative through this final sector. Phil coming out of the final corner. What can he set? I think this is going to be a 140. It is a 140.080. That's fourth place for Phil Razor. Phil gang, well, that's not bad. He promised you top 5, didn't he?
Well, we've got Leonardo just commented. Phil is definitely going to get a top 3 finish. I guarantee. So wow. No pressure there.
Well, if he starts P4, that will give him a good chance of a podium. So I rate the confidence, and the confidence clearly isn't misplaced at the moment. As I said, 4th position would be not a bad starting position. Here is One, the controversial driver who was using those track limits in terms of going very wide.
And murdering drivers, apparently.
Yeah, and apparently getting in a tangle with, well, a bit more than a tangle with Droftas, but... we can't really comment. It's an ongoing investigation, and so is One's spin, and he's saved by the fact that France has about 50 miles of runoff area. Because if that was any other track, his wheel would be gone. He'd be in the hospital. But because it's France, he's got all the runoff area in the world, and he's back on track.
It's a bit boring, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no real consequences to a spin. I mean, at most, you're going to lose a couple of positions. You're not going to get any damage most of the time. German's done a purple middle sector.
I still think that's a glitch. I do not think he's
Velocity.
touching
he's horrible.
Chapelele's time.
Ignore Velocity. He's a horrible human being. Chapelele's gone to softs on the in the pits, so maybe
because it's drying out.
Yeah, if it's drying out, then perhaps we could see.
Emerson's taking an L here.
Why is Emerson taking out?
He's going for another lap on the inters.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to have time. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to dry... Actually, no, it might dry enough for softs.
It will.
Because if German's going to improve massively, which he is, yeah, well, 139.6, I think the track is going to be improving rapidly. Fatality's gone out on the softs. Energetics has gone out on the inters.
Out on the softs.
So Energetics goes out on the softs when it should be the inters, and then goes out on the inters when it should be the softs.
Well, Fatality has just spun, so it's not...
No, it's not 100%, but it's worth the gamble. And I think the fact that Chapelele, Paulie Orange is about... Well, he needs... DRS has been enabled. It is the right decision to go out on softs, so I was right about Energetics.
So Emerson's going to tank... Possibly all the way down into
Paulie
P8.
Orange hasn't gone out again.
Wait, Emerson's not even gone in. He's just trying to...
Paulie Orange is only... No, he's only just gone out. He's gonna... Yeah, he's cutting the corners. Look how desperate he is to get across. I'm not sure he's still going to make it, you know. Emerson goes second, 139.33. That's on the intermediates. He still can't beat Chapelele this time on a practically dry track. Next round, German's invalidated. Who's furthest ahead on their outlap? That is...
I think it's going to be Fatality just in front of Chapelele. Now, this could be...
No, there's a car in front, or unless that's someone on...
No, that's German on his intermediate tyres. So the problem here for Chapelele is he has a driver who we couldn't say isn't
Phil's retired.
Top 3.
He's been screwed over by that change in weather, because I think he's going to drop right down the grid.
And Droftas said, I don't think Hilker understands weather. You know what? I think he understands it better than us. I think he's just that good with weather.
He should never give up his bus driving career for a forecaster. Certainly not a tyre strategist. Let's be honest.
It could be a Ferrari tyre strategist.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Or Albon's tyre strategist, as everyone likes to believe. So,
no, because it wouldn't make a difference with the... yeah, look at that. Fatality, 1.9 seconds quicker in the first sector.
Well, Chapelele's 1.8 seconds quicker, so...
And, yeah, Chapelele will be purple then.
Paulie Orange didn't make it.
Yeah, he didn't. I'm not surprised by that. He left it so late.
Wait, so we've only got three drivers that are actually on the softs.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to get 1, 2, and 3. Chapelele is more than likely going to get pole if he just keeps it on the track.
Fatality.
Then it's going to be, and then I think Ailhan is probably going to be P2, followed by Fatality.
Yeah.
Mainly just by track positioning, and obviously Chapelele does like a good to mug off the whole grid.
That circuit is really drying up. You know what? Actually, it depends how far back is Ailhan from Chapelele? Oh no,
he's not that far back.
Yeah, no. Yeah. If he was a bit further back, say maybe he's got a shot because of the track drying even more. But we're going to see Fatality come across the line first, Chapelele, then it will be Ailhan. Fatality comes across the line. That will be provisional pole. Chapelele comes across the line. That's now provisional pole. Ailhan. He gets second, and that is how it finishes, as you predicted. For once, we get a pole position right. So we've finally broken that curse. Chapelele there on pole. Ailhan second. Fatality third. Emerson fourth. Paulie Orange fifth. German sixth. Phil down in seventh if he wants to get that top 3. He's got
Emerson saying did not think it was going to dry up. And then Becca going, wait, Emerson did a faster lap on the inters than Orange did on the softs.
No, Orange
didn't. I've just read the tyre wear, never mind. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. But
I'd be worried for Paulie Orange considering all the practice he's done for this race if he was somehow quicker on the inters and everything else.
Yeah, no. The top 3, obviously, miles better than the rest of the grid.
Yeah, I mean, this is shocking. The quality needs to improve, lads. I mean, 7 seconds the difference between... Sorry, 8 seconds the difference between fourth and third. Really poor. But energetics for me, driver of qualifying. Tyre choices were just beautiful. I think you'll definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to talk us through the formation lap, actually, for the first time ever, because you've already gone
to the toilet earlier. That is a first. If you've watched any of the streams, I always consistently go to the toilet on the formation lap and leave it to my co-commentator. For once, wow, I'm going to be talking.
I feel like something's probably going to go horrifically wrong now.
I feel like I've broken the game, but I don't
whether my house is going to set on fire or
I don't know. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. In fact, I'm not even sure how to talk through a formation lap. Because
it has been a very. I can take you through the formation lap if you would like.
Yeah, I'm probably be too rusty. I'll probably somehow like mess it up. Call someone a terrorist or something. I don't know.
I mean,
so you know, I'll leave that to the expert in velocity. We do have fun here. We do have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. As we were just waiting for everyone to ready up, pick their strategies. We have got a crowd here actually. COVID isn't apparently too bad in France.
Yeah, look at the view from the pit lane. That's some good seats.
So how much do you reckon they paid for those?
Nothing. They're in a virtual game, you idiot. God. They're programmed in.
Right, okay. So, I'll take you through the grid. So, we've got Chapelele on pole position. He's just absolutely smashed it, really, hasn't he, in terms of tyre compound. Then Aohan and Fatality, his highest qualifying, I think, of the season so far. Hopefully he can maybe do something with this. He's always not had the best of times. Then Emerson in P4, he's going to be hungry to get up there and behind it. Chapelele as quick as possible. Paulie Orange close up behind. He's going to be rapid, I think, and really pushing Emerson to the maximum. Gurman in P6 having issues with track limits. Maybe have an eye on his penalty situations as well. Phil Razor, the man to watch by Leonardo, and he's in P7, 2 places to gain, or else I think he might be murdered. Abbasus in P8. Hilke in a surprise P9. He's done very well there, apart from Q3 where he's been a bit special. But then we've got One, the man of mischief, in P10. Tango in P11. The pole position of the free compound users. Then we've got Andreas in P12. Nolsey in P13, the man who can seem to get no penalties when everyone else does. Then we've got Dan Murphy doing his best, was doing his best Raikkonen impression back in Silverstone, just driving a straight line on the formation lap. But then we've got Droftas, championship leader, down in 15th. That's going to be a man to watch. He is going to fly through this field. I feel like he's going to be on a mission.
He'll be going long.
FTH is in P16. He had a nightmare race last week. Hopefully he can improve on that. Liam, and then in P17, F1 Faf in P18, rounding off the grid in his little pink machine. Now, watch for the back guys at the back, because I think there's going to be some hobbits. Hopping, I was meant to say, but
also worth noting before we start, Fatality, the only driver on softs on the entire grid, so watch out for him at the start. He might have a better start.
Leonardo has just said death is an easy way out. We need him alive to get penalised accordingly. Ooh. So, all right, there you go. This is a you thing now.
I can't see the red lights very well. Okay, I'm going to have to go to the onboard to see the red lights. 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Chapelele with a decent start. Fatality looked like he's had a good start as well. As we see them all come down to turn 1. Is it going to be clean? And everyone going through. Emerson side by side with Fatality. Paulie Orange has wing damage. There's wing damage. I think it's one of the Ferraris. It's not Paulie Orange. I have a feeling it might be Phil Razor who's ghosting at the moment.
He's not got any visual wing damage.
He's ghosting, and
he might be drunk.
My leaderboard is going crazy. Help!
Right, so
Emerson's from Elan.
It's Fatality with wing damage. I'm not sure where he got red from, but
yeah, I did see a bit of contact. Paulie Orange and Phil Razor. Phil is going for the move. Phil's into P5. He's into P5.
Abbasus going around the outside of Fatality. What a move there. Beautiful.
Fatality. Disastrous start for him. One has moved down a position, but he's just got past
Tango on the out. Well, actually, getting now attacked by Nolsey. Not having the straight line speed. I think he would like Tango.
Look at Fatality here. He's getting absolutely swarmed. And
we've got 3 wide, and there's contact with, I think, Andreas there.
Yeah, Andreas there. Look at this gaggle of cars here. And Emerson is closing right up to
and Nolsey going around the outside of Fatality. He's just getting absolutely swarmed. Something's gone terribly wrong with his car there, and he's gone into the pits. Tango has also entered the pits as well. Droftas still in P15 after all of that. Obviously, he's not... Well, actually, Energetics is down into P14, attacking Droftas, actually. Droftas is... And whether he's going to put this down... No, he's backing out.
Droftas gained 2 positions so far. Not ideal first lap for him. I think he would have wanted a bit more, but he's still got time.
Well, we've got Chapelele building a lead of 1.8 seconds already. He's flying.
Emerson needs to get back on Alan, but at the moment Alan's actually pulling away from him. It was about 5/10, now it's a second. It's gone back down again though. Poorly Orange.
Well, here we go. Here, have a look at Knowlesy, Farth, and everything. This is where all the action is at the moment.
We're on board with Droftas at the moment. We got a great view of all this battle, and it looks like
Farth's going to get that move done.
Farth's got through, but Droftas couldn't get through as well.
Knowlesy's going to be under pressure now by
Droftas. Abbasus is going for the move on Phil. This is round the outside. This is ambitious. Oh my word, he's made it stick. Phil nearly had it understeered into him, and he's locked up as well.
Gurman's... no, we've got... It's settling down a little bit. Droftas now attacking Knowlesy. He's going to be going for the around the outside on Knowlesy. He's gained a little bit.
Wheel to wheel. He's going to go for the outside. Oh, Knowlesy go, and now he's going to have the inside for the next corner.
Move there.
Oh, but Knowlesy looks like he had some better traction there.
No,
yeah, Knowlesy's had some good traction.
Droftas has made that stick actually.
Emerson, fastest lap of the race. Emerson now right in the back of Alan as well.
Brilliant move there by Droftas. Absolutely smashing it. Farth is all over the back of.
Phil gets a penalty.
Andreas as well. I like the little penalty flag we've got going on there.
Emerson all on the back of Alan now, and
Dan Murphy all over the back of Gurman as well. I think Gurman needs to get past Phil if he doesn't want to lose a position to the McLaren driver. He looks hungry at the moment.
This is very hectic at the moment.
Farth is the next man to make a move. I think we're going to be seeing on Andreas maybe, but and there's yellow flag in sector 2, and that is fatality. No, that's not. That's Liam. Yeah, sorry. Having a bit of a
Farth is having
issue.
A move at Andreas, getting so close to the back of him.
Well, Emerson's gone.
Yeah, Emerson's gone past Alan.
Down the inside of Aohan, and he's not made it too difficult, Aohan, has he?
No, I think he's accepted it. But meanwhile, Farth and Andreas continue to battle as Liam gets a 10-second time penalty for
I think he's going to be retiring in the pits, if I'm being perfectly...
Oh, down the inside! There's not much room there. Nearly goes for the move. That was very close indeed. He's still right all over the back of Andreas. This is for the final points position at the moment, but these are both hard runners, so they're going to be going a lot longer in the race, and strategy is going to play a key role at the moment in this race, as is penalties. As you can see on our screen, the drivers that have penalties shown by that little symbol.
Well, Andreas is going to definitely lose the position now.
Look at that.
Far flies.
Breezing.
Wait, Andreas has wing damage. He has no front left end plate.
Yeah, he does as well. He must have lost. I think that must have been in the first lap as well, because I saw more than one bit of wing come off. Droftas is now all over the back of, well, coming up to all over the back of him. Liam, has retired in the pits,
here now.
Said.
This is going to harm Droftas quite a lot, but I think he's going to make this move very soon. He's going to get a much better exit, and here we go. Well, it's not actually, because he's got front left end plate, which isn't affecting him in the right hand.
He's gaining on Farth. He's going past Farth. That's incredible. With wing damage, Andreas obviously not affected by it as much as we thought. Certainly not on the straight. Farth is going to come back at him though.
Droftas is going to have to get a jiffy, well, whatever you want to call it,
get
a rocket up his arse or something.
Okay, there we go.
Because honestly, he's losing so much time behind these two. There's not much he can do.
Andreas doing a great job of defending it. Farth goes down the inside. That's a lovely bit of driving there from Farth. And he's currently, although Andreas is fighting it still. Andreas is fighting it. Oh no, probably should have given up there.
Maybe a bit. Again, I forgot English.
Opportunistic.
It's fine. We'll get back to it. There you go.
It wasn't perhaps the smartest idea. And that's put him down to 14.
We've got Paulie Orange just sort of hanging on the back. Chapelele not necessarily running away too much.
2 seconds
these guys
yeah.
He's not within DRS range, so he is sort of probably just chilling at the moment. Obviously, these guys need to get in DRS to possibly even scare Chapelele, but we know he's capable of a mistake.
I don't think he gets scared. I think he makes mistakes, but he doesn't get scared. Andreas is in the pits. We've got Droftas is going to have a chance on Farth here, potentially. We're on board with him now. He's gaining on Farth.
There we go. This is going to be pretty easy. There you go.
Yeah, he's made the move done. Made the move nicely. And that's him.
Do you know what? I think I'm a little bit surprised. I thought Droftas would be quicker in a straight line.
I've done his up round France. It's actually not that straight line heavy. Some inside knowledge for you there. Dan is gaining on German massively. And there's a bit of a train starting to form behind Abbasus.
I've been disconnected.
Oh, well...
I have a spare invite, so we're alright.
But what I was saying before you got disconnected, actually, is that there's a bit of a train forming behind Abbasus because you got Phil Razor right on the back of him. Then you got German, Dan. Oh, Dan's... I think he's disconnected because One's just gone straight through him. Yeah, Dan's disconnected. That's a real shame.
I think he probably had the same issue as me.
And there goes Velocity. Wow, that was something for timing, wasn't it? I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. Clearly his internet being a bit funny. Let's hope that doesn't happen to the stream or to any other of our drivers. Yeah, we don't want the PS servers going away again. We're still on board with Phil Razor on the back of Abbasus. We've got a battle with FTH and Farth here, but Farth's disconnected as well. Oh no, that's not good at all. I think, yeah, we're seeing... I have the feeling we're seeing quite a few disconnections as Phil looks for the move on Abbasus. I feel like this might be a similar issue. We've had this before. I remember when I was in an ALR race and everyone disconnected at the end apart from 3 or 4 drivers. Worry that might be happening now because that will really ruin the race for a lot of these drivers. Hopefully they can join back. This is the closest battle on track at the moment between Phil and Abbasus. This is for P5 currently. I'm also keeping an eye on the other gaps. Energetics and Nosey, that's quite close as well. 3/10 in that. And yeah, this train behind Abbasus continues to go. Emerson, 1.9 seconds, 1.8 seconds by Chapelele. Alan 1.3 seconds further back. And Paulie Orange still staying within DRS zone of Alan, but can't get close enough to get the move done at the moment. His teammate, Phil Razor, in the Ferrari, is now having to worry about German, who's also got his DRS, so he's going to have to get past Abbasus soon, because he's getting held up at the moment. Paulie Orange gaining in that first sector on Alan a bit, but we'll have to see. We can see some complaints. Becca's saying Wi-Fi's a bit dodgy down in Kettering. No, I think it is. I agree with Velocity. As horrific a town I presume Kettering is, considering Velocity came from it, I think it will be PS. And then Droftas getting past the disconnected Dan Murphy. Paulie Orange, meanwhile, breezing past Alan, and that is P3. Velocity, before he unfortunately died and went to another dimension, did mention that he thought Paulie Orange was going to get podium today. He's past Alan, who's now... he's got a bit of a gap to him to Abbasus, but look how close Phil is. Dan's continuing to plummet down the grid because of disconnections. Phil, way closer to Abbasus than he was before. It's surely going to be this or next lap if he's going to get past. So Phil gang, this is looking good. Velocity saying he can't get back on at the moment. Abbasus loses it there, nearly loses it anyway. Yeah, I think this is a PSN thing. That's incredibly concerning because that could wreck the race, and it has done in the past. Chapelele's in the pits. Chapelele's in the pits after 6 laps. Why is that? He's going on to... He's 2-stopping. He's gone on to the softs. Why is he being held? Okay, that's because of lag. Phil continuing to pressure Abbasus, but Abbasus is having none of it at the moment. So currently, Farth is saying PSN's down. That's awful. Really awful. I really hope we don't lose many other drivers. At the moment, we've lost Dan. We've lost... We've lost... Who else have we lost? We've lost... No, we haven't lost Andreas. We've lost Farth, and we've lost Dan, I think, at the moment. And possibly Tango as well. So that's incredibly frustrating. But Phil will also be getting incredibly frustrated not getting past Abbasus. And meanwhile, we do have a battle for the lead because of that early pit stop. from Chapelele, perhaps going for the undercut. Didn't have any damage. I would ask the view of my co-commentator why he's done that, but he's not obviously there. Energetics getting past Knowlesy into that corner. Phil still too far away from Abbasus, and Paulie Orange trying to pressure Emerson into a mistake. Of course, Chapelele down in 13th after that pit stop at the moment. As my deltas go, that's incredibly helpful. Just gets better and better. So you can see 4 people got penalties. Chapelele's got a penalty as well, actually, worth noting. That's a 3-second. Dan Murphy gets past FTH, and then FTH gets past Dan Murphy. This is obviously a battle that's on. Oh no, it's not. Dan's disconnected. I keep forgetting. If I miss any battles on track, I am sorry, because I currently am missing my deltas, so I'm just going off the deltas. Phil currently closest to Abbasus, but again not close enough to get the move done. I think Abbasus has enough in a straight line to just get enough. Knowlesy all over the back of Energetics. Chapelele's got past FTH, and we'll be on the back of Knowlesy soon if he can't pass Energetics. Phil's dropped back a bit to Abbasus actually through there. I wonder how much DRS can close him up to. I'm constantly looking at the deltas. Knowlesy very close at the moment. He'll be hoping to get this done on the DRS straight. Yeah, Phil had a bad exit, I think, from Sector 1 because he's dropped back a bit. Is Knowlesy close enough? He's gaining DRS open. It's going to be too far for a lunge in that particular corner, but he has got a lot closer. 3/10. Phil also 3/10 behind Abbasus, but this isn't an overtaking spot and he hasn't got DRS. Although we have seen overtakes here. Where we saw Faf do an excellent move earlier before he disconnected. I haven't disconnected, I just unplugged my mic like an idiot. So we're on board now with Phil and Abbasus. It's the battle for P4 now. I wonder when the next people will pit, because that seems a very early pit stop from Chapelele. But of course, he's doing the 2-stop, of course. So, whilst everyone else, I presume, is going to be trying the 1-stop. Chapelele thinks he has the pace to win with the 2 stops. Why wouldn't you when you're Chapelele? And you know how quick you are. So the race starting to settle down a bit. We've got a 3-way battle. We're going to sit on board with Gurman because he's best suited for this 3-way battle. Chapelele does the fastest lap of the race at 1:31.2. We're going to sit on board with Gurman because he's got a good view of this battle between Abbasus, Razor, and himself. And Velocity is back. Well,
hello. I'm going to need another invite, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a big issue with.
Yeah, we've lost a couple of drivers. I'm going to have to stop inviting you just for a second because just in case there's an overtake on the straight. No, Abbasus has got some straight line godspeed through there, so I will.
Yeah, this is a massive.
It.
They don't like people who play PS4 anymore and are not buying the PS5.
Knowlesy has passed Energetics. That battle was going on for a while. We just missed that. But Gurman, actually, Phil Racy was all over the back of Abbasus. He is now under a lot of pressure from Gurman as well. This is a proper 3-way battle.
I'm just going to get these guys back in the session if I possibly can.
Chapelele also gets past Energetics. Well, they're side by side, actually. Energetics is fighting that. And he's got through Chapelele and made the move stick. So Chapelele going for that 2-stop strategy, whilst everyone else looks like going for the 1-stop. I'll tell you what, Phil Razor might think about potentially changing strategies because he is stuck behind Abbasus, not getting through, losing a lot of time. Chapelele's got past Knowlesy now. Jesus, you turn away for a second and he overtakes another driver. Missing all of these because of that, but yeah, some drivers who are stuck like Phil behind others will be frustrated. And actually, next up the road for Chapelele, guess who? Droftas, the championship leader, who's gaining on One. Phil is gaining on Abbasus. This is surely his time to finally get past. Abbasus is going to try and fight it, but Phil has finally got through, and that's P4 for Phil. Gurman will be looking for that move on Abbasus next.
Do we know what happened to Chapelele?
Yeah, he pitted. He's going for a 2-stop.
Oh, is he?
It's nothing to do with damage or anything. Because he's pitted onto the mediums again. There was no wing change, as far as I could see.
Need to try and get...
I think he's just going for the 2-stop and everyone else is going for the 1-stop. He's that confident in his pace.
I have invited Dan and Farf back, and the last person to invite back
German
is Tango. Now...
Chapelele's now starting to catch... Well, he's not far away from catching the back of this Droftas-One battle, so Droftas will want to dispatch it quickly as possible. Alan and Phil are into the pits. And Phil is going on to the softs, so is that a 2-stop strategy? Surely. Alan's gone on to the... They've both gone onto the soft tyre. Can a soft tyre do to the end of the race? I'd be surprised. This track has high tyre deck.
There we go. I have invited everyone back. Whether they are going to be able to join back, it's unfortunate for these guys. There's not really much we can do about it, as only 3 drivers did disconnect. But I think we have a couple of these guys back in. Hopefully Tango can get back in as soon as possible.
German going on, nearly off the track there to overtake Abyssus, and he's got through.
It's looking a bit bleak.
Chapelele gets past One, and
next
up the road is Droftas. I keep missing every single Chapelele overtake. It's infuriating. But also worth noting that, yeah, as I said, a lot of drivers opting for the 2-stops, because surely you're not going to get the softs to the end of the race now, are you, with a high tyre depth? Otherwise, Chapelele wouldn't have done 6 laps in the mediums, am I right? As Abyssus gets a 3-second time penalty.
No. I'm not sure what Chapelele's doing, if I'm being
So it's got to be a 2-stop for
honest.
Alan and Phil then, sure.
You can actually do a medium to soft on this track.
That early, though?
Not this early.
Yeah, gotta say. So I think it is the 2-stop for Phil and Alan. Chapelele's on the back of Droftas. Now this is massive. Droftas would want to hold him up as much as possible, because this is... Droftas can afford to let him pass, but this is a bit personal. But Droftas not fighting it too hard.
It started to rain.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it has. It has started to rain. You can see some drops now. I wonder how heavy it's going to get. Energetics closing back in on Nosey. Phil's got past Dan Murphy, who is back in the session. That's great to see. Although he has dropped down, obviously, a lot. Farf is also back in the session. It's raining. Yeah, it's raining heavier.
And we've got Chapelele flying. He's already broken 9/10 to Droftas, who is on the harder compounded tyres. What's weird is I don't think these guys actually knew maybe it was going to be so early, because...
I think it's the MFD playing up again.
Because I don't think Droftas would have picked the hards if he knew it was going to rain so early. And I don't think Chapelele would have pitted if he knew it was going to rain as well. Yeah,
it seems very odd that Chapelele pitted if he would have known, but again, that might be Jeff or the MFD screwing up. Abyssus and Chapelele. Chapelele coming up to the back of his teammate Abyssus.
I think Abyssus might... Oh, but there we go. German going into the pits. Now, that's an odd time to pit. Whether it's going to be... And there we go, Abyssus, yeah, he's playing the second driver role.
But Droftas might take advantage of that and try and close up to him.
And Gunman's gone on to...
Tyre choices have been like in the past, but maybe...
I will sit on board with him to see what he does.
I think it's going to be the Inters, surely.
And it is the Inters, yes. So yeah, it's... maybe, I think, 1 lap more, and it'd be... into ready.
It might be the end of the lap, though. You don't know.
The thing that Abyssus now has an issue with, right, is he's going to double stack more than likely.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a lot of time.
But he's falling back so quickly. Maybe he's trying to create that gap where the double stack's not.
And hold up Droftas nearly drives into the back of him. He's going so slow. Yeah, maybe he's trying to hold up Droftas. He certainly is at the moment, but Droftas is surely going to get past here. Got to be careful, though, because it is wet down the inside. Got to be careful not to clip too much of the curb. You can easily lose the rear.
There we go. And Droftas has made that move stick. He's in a little bit of doubt a little while ago, but you know.
Paulie Orange is closed right up to Emerson. Emerson boxes.
Paulie Orange hasn't.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what tyres he goes on to. Chapelain, he's not going to pit.
On.
Droftas not going to pit. Abyssus is going to pit. That's clever because otherwise it'd be the double stack. So Emerson will be undoubtedly going on to the intermediates, as will Abyssus.
Knowlesy's pitting.
So that puts Chapelain in second. Paulie Orange has a big lead at the moment, but I think he'll have to pit soon. I think the crossover point is about now, and I think
Three
DRS...
people left Becker because of connection. Dan Murphy has gone into the pits as well. Farfy's gone on. Tango has still not joined back. I think he may have just decided enough is enough for today. But as I've said, we can't really warrant a restart with 3 people out of the 18 disconnecting. Yeah. It's not fair on the others, even if it isn't their fault.
Andreas down in 14th. German on the intermediates seems to be struggling a bit. It seems like there's not enough water on track at the moment.
Yeah, I think Emerson may have messed up a little bit here.
I think, yeah, judging by other people's pace, although I think it will be quite soon that DRS is disabled, but to take it into your own hands is always a ballsy move. But Paulie Orange still maintaining about a 7-second gap to Chapelain. Droftas about 3.8 behind. Then One. Alan is going to make the move on One for P4. Alan has only just pitted for fresh softs 3 laps ago. And that's his Phil Razor. But I think no one was expecting this rain, because if anyone was expecting this rain, then everyone's messed up, and I don't believe that. I think the rain was unexpected. As Andreas gets past...
Paulie Orange, Chapelain going on more. Droftas still going on as well. Do you reckon Ailhan's going to come in as well, or...?
I'm not sure, but Andreas has got past Knowlesy, and Andreas is on the mediums, and Knowlesy on the inters.
And One's coming into the pits as well, getting a 5-second while he's at.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, we said this could be a bit of a boring race, but I think the Bermuda Triangle has moved positions, and...
Indeed.
It's really spiced out for us.
And the rain has really thrown something new into the equation. Phil closing up to FTH. Look at FTH, currently running 5th. Of course, hasn't pitted. Yellow flag in sector 3.
German's off. These inters don't seem to be liking it at the moment.
I think he's made the wrong decision, unfortunately for him. Fatality into the pits now. He was about to overtake someone. Phil is all over the back of FTH on these fresh softs. The softs will be working better in these wet conditions than the hards.
And there we go, down the inside.
Yeah, so much more grip. So much more grip there. And I think that's the thing, you know, the softs are always the best tyre for sort of a dry, wet track.
Well, Chapelain's catching Paulie Orange, I'm just saying. Like He's
taking huge chunks of time. But Paulie Orange is on almost 7 lap older tyres, so that obviously plays makes a difference. Andreas closing up to One.
Will get disabled at some point, or are we going to just have almost a wet race but on dry tyres?
Yeah.
Half the grid is this is a 50-50 split here.
It is. It's quite incredible looking at the tyre choices of every driver at the moment. This is the closest battle at the moment.
I think it is the switchover point, because I'm looking
Paulie
at
Orange is pitting.
Delta,
Chapelain's pitting.
Catching FTH.
Yeah, the first and second have just pitted.
Pitting.
Yeah, this is definitely
will probably
intermediates.
Ailhan's gone on. That's a dangerous one, but
I know he's thinking about double
coming
stack,
into the pits as well. Yeah, but the thing is, the double stack, you might have to take it sometimes, especially when it's about to rain.
Well, Alan takes the lead. Where's Paulie Orange going to come out on track then? Phil's also in the pits. FTH is in the pits. Emerson, is he going to come out ahead of Emerson? He is. Emerson coming down now.
Droftas is coming out ahead, behind. Oh,
Emerson gets ahead of Droftas, and he's right behind Chapelain.
So he has lost maybe 2-3 seconds or so on the early call.
Yeah.
And Phil coming out just in front, side by side with One. Oh, just in front.
Just gets in front of him. But that's good for Phil, because Alan's still got a pit. That will elevate him to 6th. And DRS has been disabled. That is officially intermediate times when that happens. And
Ailhan's going to be losing time all over the place.
He's only at the end of Sector 2, and he is fighting the car. On board with him now. And,
well, he's got the hardest section for him yet to come.
Yeah, this is especially a horrible corner.
Now, this is where Droftas comes into his element.
Ooh, gets on the curb a bit, but
This is Droftas's weather, isn't it? He likes a bit of rain.
We're speaking with Harry Kane, everybody. He is a Tottenham fan.
But no, yeah, Droftas does like the rain. He's Welsh after all, so they are used to a bit of rain.
Alan finally pits, so that makes Paulie Orange the race leader. And what chance does Paulie Orange have? Because Chapelele is still about 2 seconds back.
I tell you what, I did say, didn't I?
Yeah,
Paulie Orange for the win. So, if he can hold off Chapelele, who has a 3-second penalty...
Yeah. Orange has none at the moment, and he's been practicing this track like crazy in all conditions. I remember when we doing
Elhan's not lost a stupidly big amount of time. He's gonna come out just in front of Abbasus.
Abbasus crashed.
Wait, no, he's the side by side. Look at Elhan. Oh my God, Abbasus! I was convinced he was about to go in the back of him, but
Energetics gets past One. One was the one who spun. I was right. Yeah. So yeah, as you were saying though, Droftas this race has come to Droftas because obviously he started down in 15th, didn't have a great start, and yet now he's in 4th, and it's the perfect conditions for him.
One's spinning all over the place. It's not for him.
Yeah.
Maybe you could say Karma's bit him in the arse a bit, but
German finally comes into the pits to retire.
Yellow flag is sector 3. Yeah, that's German. And Droftas is actually gaining on Emerson. Whether Emerson's gaining or losing time to Chapelele is anyone's guess. I don't know.
Orange and Chapelele staying the same at the moment.
But FTH is closing up.
FTH is really enjoying these conditions. He started down in 16th, and he's on the back of Knowlesy, and currently he's sitting P9, Knowlesy P8, and he's on 2-lap fresher intermediates. Not that makes that much difference. But, yeah, FTH, usually, well, his first race, last race, had a bit of a nightmare, but he's coming alive in these conditions. And this is the closest gap on track at the moment. Because from him back to the next car, it's 7.4 seconds. Yellow flag in sector 3, that's One again. Yeah, disaster for him. FTH, he goes so wide, he nearly goes into the pits. But
Chapelele's done something here.
Yeah, he's starting to close the gap
massively. It was 5. He's closed it by 5 tenths. He's closing it constant. He's switched something on, hasn't he? He's switched on the extra grip or something.
Or maybe just using a bit more of ERS. We don't know. But well, it's nearly a second now. We'll have to get on board with this. That's in a
sector. One sector. He's gone.
I feel like either that's a mistake from Paulie Orange or that's just a madness from Chapelele.
Well, no, it's a madness from Chapelele because he's now 4 seconds ahead of Emerson.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's now under
what he's done differently, I don't know. But One's now coming to the pits to retire. FTH is going to have a run now on Knowlesy. Is this going to become wet conditions?
I'm just thinking that it's getting a lot heavier, isn't it?
Yeah, we could have 7 laps, and Paulie Orange is struggling.
I think the reason he's struggling is because the track is getting so much wetter. Yeah, you can see fighting it there. But yeah, I think the reason he's struggling, maybe as FTH is about to get past Knowlesy, they're going side by side. FTH trying to think about the inside. Knowlesy's held that. He's going to go... No, he's not. He backs off. He's all over the back of Knowlesy. The quicker car.
One's car's come back onto the track. Although he did retire in the pits.
Yeah, that's really frustrating. Fast's out. Fast crashed it. Fast binned it. You can just see his car there,
Safety car.
The wreckage.
Safety car.
Oh, wow. That's changed everything.
I would say that saved Paulie Orange, if I'm being honest. Whether some of these guys are going to come in to fit the wet compounded tyre is going to be interesting because... yeah, I think it could. Yeah, there we go. Energetics might be listening to what I'm saying and might be putting on these wets. Same with Dan Murphy. He might be coming onto the wets.
Well, if you're down there, you've got nothing to lose, have you? If you're down in 10th, 11th, whatever, you've got nothing to lose. So what
we've got, Dan Murphy going on to a fresh set of intermediates he's going to be setting on. So not the wets. And also Energetics on a fresh set of intermediates. Sorry,
I hope not mediums. Yeah, where Farf binned it, it looked, you know, at the end of Sector 3, just before the
it's very easy to do in the rain.
In the wet, if you get on the curb too much, you're a passenger, and that is one place that you can bin it and lose your tyre, especially in the rain, because you.
Here we go, 7 laps. Droftas has been brought back into this race. What are you thinking? Droftas podium somehow, or?
I'm not going to predict who's going to finish where, but I'm going to say that the race.
Chapelele's penalty is starting to look worse and worse for him as this race goes on.
No, what I will say is that I'm not going to make a prediction of who's going to win, but what I will say is I think this race might come down to a mistake, whether that's at the restart, the safety car, or someone pressuring him, a bit like a sort of Button Vettel moment. I'm not sure. Could be Droftas as that Jensen Button. He's come from not quite back of the grid, but 15th, so it won't quite be a Jensen Button sort of drive. But
do you know what? He's gonna be lapping it all up right now. He's been given maybe a second life. Really, he's got a teammate behind him who's gonna act as his rear gunner, most definitely.
Yeah, we know these guys get on well, and they.
Again, though. What I would like to just say is Abbasus and Elhan are together.
Yeah. And it's always Droftas and Chapelele fighting, and Elan and Abbasus. It's those. They seem like the most perfect teams in terms of like where their drivers are, sort of abilities lie.
If these guys were in from the start of the season, and we didn't have maybe a couple of these drivers. I think the Red Bull Alpha Tauri Constructors Championship would have been.
The constructors would be thrown. Absolutely through. Now, safety car restarts in the wets.
See, this is where I think Chapelele and Droftas might shine, because obviously Chapelele, the way I see him drive, he doesn't get wheel spin at all. He loves his early shifting, so that it suits him in the wet, and exits, he's brilliant on traction. It's where he gains all his time, I think. So,
and traction's even more important in the rain.
I have a weird feeling wet conditions are kind of a thing, but these guys, you can't gamble now you're in a safety car queue and people are literally behind you.
Well, also they'll be getting information from Jeff, whatever, on when the crossover point is, whilst we won't be, so maybe it's not quite yet, but you've got to imagine the more this comes down. Also, we don't know how long this rain is going to come down for. It might probably for the rest of the race, but maybe not the same intensity. We don't know.
What do you think about Phil's chances on the top 5 then?
I think he's got a good chance actually in P7, because I'm feeling like, as I said, there will be mistakes, especially on the safety car restart. There'll be a lot of gambles, because in the wet it's so difficult to overtake, so there'll be a lot more ambitious moves.
The thing is, Phil is one of those guys. I think he is very ambitious. I think he's changed the way he's driven from the start. You can see he's evolved, especially as a driver, especially more patient. He was in the incidents.
I think Singapore turned
every other week at one point, and now I don't really see him in any. To be honest, I don't see many from this division, if I'm being honest, but I'm sure there might be a couple in terms of next week. Well, for tonight, especially with the Haas and AlphaTauri, whether Droftas can be asked to report that, or if he's just going to run and play Assassin's Creed and forget about it.
Well, I think One nominated himself for a race ban.
Race ban, yeah. I don't think there's going to be any arguments, whatever the stewarding outcome is on One's side.
Well, look at that.
The thing that shocked me, shocked me there,
back
though.
Of the safety car.
Yeah, he loves it. One's not a dirty driver. I'd just like to. It's definitely 100% an accident. But yeah. The safety car honestly looks massive compared to these cars, doesn't it? Fatality with is Fatality just picked up wing damage? No.
Or did he get hit in the back? He must have been hit in the back.
Hit.
And he's got so he'll get that. He'll get that removed. He'll get that removed definitely, because getting hit in the back and getting a 5-second penalty.
Andreas' season has unravelled quite a lot.
Well, we talked about it a lot, unfortunately, because we sort of have to. But yeah, considering how promising the first sort of 4 races were for him, it really has. And also, just mentioning, the safety car seems to have been out for a friggin' long time.
No, it's just this track's quite long, especially in the wet.
True. Yeah, but even so, it's still been
I think it's
2
been
or 3
2 laps or so.
I think it's been 2 or 3. So.
The problem is, I think it might be 1 more lap.
Yeah, it is.
Due to the fact Tango's car has not caught up.
Are we going to have a safety car till the end because Tango's car?
No, not till the end. It'll be next lap, I think, is the maximum you can do. But
okay.
Yeah, these guys are gonna. There might be some desperate moves because I don't know if I can even see whether I can see Chapelele on the podium.
Andreas is pitted.
Something as well.
He'll be getting that wing replaced, I presume, or maybe retiring. I'm not sure.
No, he's definitely getting the wing replaced. He needs to, really, because he was only down in 11th, and
he's serving that 5-second penalty.
What is Tango's car almost came to a complete stop there. It doesn't seem like it's in any rush to catch up.
It's because the AI default is on 70, so the AI at 70 is a slug's pace, let's be honest. So that's probably why. Only 14
said
runners.
Evening and then softs ? If you want to see someone on the softs, your best bet is probably putting money on energetics.
And he'll be in the wall shortly after.
No, we've missed it. Andreas is actually on the softs, and that's what he's called.
Oh, excellent. Brilliant decision.
So
he's going flat out as well. So softs to catch the safety car.
This is interesting, to say the least.
This is when he's somehow quicker than the rest of the grid.
Do you know what? He's actually losing time to the safety car.
Yeah, because he's just got no grip. The moment he puts his throttle down...
Nova was more on that than us.
Yeah, well done, Nova. Shame that Nova couldn't race tonight.
I'll tell you what,
safety car in this lap.
Yeah. From the start of season 1 to to where we are now, he's a lot quicker as a driver, and a lot better racecraft wise. You can see the evolution of some drivers in this league, and it's brilliant to watch.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Absolutely.
Nova saying he'll definitely be there next week, which is good to hear.
Yeah. Well, look at Paulie Orange. He's backing up the pack quite significantly.
Well, it's going to be hard because these guys are almost blind.
Yeah.
Vision is not.
Well,
much.
At this point, it's going to be a 5-lap sprint race, isn't it? It's going to be a bit like GP2 in the sprint race.
Well, it's a 5-lap sprint race with a NASCAR restart.
Yeah, and with on top of that, we've got wet conditions. Paulie Orange has gone quite early.
Whether he's.
Yeah, he's gone.
He has.
He's gone early. Chapelele is right behind him. Oh my word! I don't think that was the right decision because Chapelele.
This is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I said about Chapelele in these conditions. The way he drives.
He's got through. That's
so
Chapelele
impressive.
in the lead. And now
Emerson with a 3-second penalty. That's going to be huge coming to the end of this race.
Now he's going to try and get past Paulie Orange because he doesn't want to see Chapelele drift away.
I did tell you though, didn't I? Chapelele on the restart will be monstrous. And
I hate to say it. Well, that's an excellent line from Emerson there. He's got so much closer to Paulie Orange. He's going to have a really good chance here on the straight.
Paulie Orange is massively struggling. He's going to get by him. But he has to beat Chapelele on track if he wants to...
Actually, I wouldn't say he's going to get by him necessarily. He has to brake later. He hasn't. Paulie Orange has kept that position. That was velocity with the commentator's curse. Pretty shocking. Let's cancel
Here we go.
They're side by side now. It's no DRS, of course. It's just down to speed, traction,
well,
and
you can just see
braking.
Droftas just chilling behind them.
Emerson trying to go around the outside in the wet. And Droftas right behind them, and Elan actually. And Emerson, that was ambitious. That's cost him time as well because Droftas now right over.
Do you know what?
Chapelele already 2.3.
I think Chapelele might get this 3-second gap.
Yeah,
the way these guys are battling.
He's already 2.4.
Yellow flag sector 3, and that is Andreas, and he's crashed out.
Yeah.
but we will not be seeing another
Andreas retired in the
safety
pits.
car.
I think that...
No,
it was,
VSC.
Yeah, you were
he
right.
He has
actually,
crashed
Andreas.
out of the race.
Well, that saves Emerson.
Paulie Orange for another lap.
And he saves Emerson because he was under pressure from Droftas quite a lot.
I think Droftas probably knows what's going on. Obviously, he knows he only needs 4th. I did have a conversation with him maybe midweek this week. He did update me on where he has to finish. He said he would take it, but he would prefer to obviously win races.
Well, at this rate, he's getting P3 on penalties.
Yeah, so he's doing what he needs to do. And I guess that's a sign of a champion, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So the VSC has now ended, and Droftas is right on the back of Emerson, but Emerson right on the back of Paulie Orange as well. Look at that visibility, not exactly great through there. We see that's Abbasus getting close to Alan as well. Alan's dropped off a bit. Phil Razor trying to close up to Abbasus.
I don't think he's going to be able to, if I'm being honest, but...
So difficult to overtake in these conditions.
Phil's got another 3-second penalty, and he's going to get jumped by Nosey.
Yeah.
And possibly even FTH. Which Leonardo is not going to be too happy about.
No. The guillotine might be coming out for that.
Wait,
although,
will Droftas be champion next this? No, Droftas won't be champion this race, and LH 44's tuned in to say hello.
Blast from the past there, from the AOR days.
Yeah. And it has actually stopped raining.
Yeah, it has. The track's still incredibly wet, though. I don't think we're not going to see any dry running at the end. Actually,
Chapelele's not out of 3 seconds.
No, he's not. At this moment, Paulie Orange wins the race.
Droftas still only gets P3 though because he's outside that.
Chapelele needs to put his foot down
and well, he's actually getting caught up with
Yeah, Paulie Orange has pulled away a bit from Emerson there because the gap was a few tenths, and now it's a second. And Droftas is now actually gaining on Emerson, and Emerson's not gaining on Paulie Orange. So at the moment, Paulie Orange has won this on penalties, and Chapelele will be frustrated about that.
I do think Chapelele's got something in the tank, though. I can't...
We've got 2 laps. He's got 2 laps to do it. He's leaving it late if he has got something in the tank, which is always...
but you've seen it before. He took 5 tenths out of...
You have seen it.
And there you go. He
might be saving everything. Yeah, he might be saving everything for the last lap. We're on board with Droftas at the moment. Phil is getting close to Abbasus, but without that DRS, it's so difficult to overtake. Is he going to make a late lunge, or is he going to leave it to the last lap? Of course, he's still getting decent points, but he is also going to get killed.
Chapelele is on for the win the way he's gaining at the moment, so he needs to... If he keeps going the way he did this lap, he will win this race. I just had an awesome camera angle there to see Emerson and Droftas going through the corner.
Energetics gets past Fatality for the final points position, but Dan Murphy might actually get that because of penalties. So, yeah, I'm still on board with Phil and Abbasus. They're so close to each other, but Phil just cannot get past. He's going to need a mistake or something from Abbasus to get past here.
All we need now is, well, Paulie Orange needs to hold on by 1/10 for this lap.
He might be saving everything for the last lap as well, though, so they might cancel each other out. Phil's going for the move here. Phil is right up the gearbox of Abbasus.
Abbasus going extremely defensive.
Oh, very defensive.
And not being able to make anything work now.
On the final lap now, and we're looking at Delta constantly. He's got to get 3 seconds. Paulie Orange is safe from Emerson now, that's for sure. Droftas looks like he's not going to catch Emerson on track, but will catch him on penalties if he keeps it clean. 2.9 now, 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Paulie Orange is going to have to... He's going to have to push like crazy if he wants to get past. If he wants to win this race on penalties. Got to give it everything he can. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough at the moment because Chapelele is just got that much more.
He's flying.
Yeah, I'm not... He's going to have to gain 3 tenths or something, Paulie Orange, if he wants to win this race. I think it's game over unless there's a mistake. Energetics now getting past FTH. So that puts him in a better position for a points position. We're coming round, though, into the final sector. 3.3 the gap. Chapelele being a bit cautious there.
Oh, Fatality is crashed out on the last lap.
Wow, well, he will actually be classified, but because it is the last lap. But yeah, Chapelele now across the line. This will be to win the race on track, and surely with penalties as well, because the gap is just about enough. Chapelele.
Here we go.
Wins the race just about, and that means Droftas is gonna get
we will be speaking to Droftas.
Emerson drops down to 5th because of Alan. Abbas is 6th. Phil drops down to 9th. Oh dear, Phil gang.
Leonardo might murder him. Chapelele pulling away. Yeah, Chapelele was on another planet today. Droftas though, incredible drive.
Yeah, so driver of the day deserved. From 15th on the grid to P3. We'll be talking with all those podium guys in a second. If you could invite them, Mr. Velocity. So we see Chapelele celebrate. That's his 3rd or 4th win in a row. I'm not 100% sure, but he's on fire. And but Droftas doing what he needs to do as well to win the championship. But Chapelele snapping at the heels. That's for certain.
Where? Sorry, the friends list has been very, very, very slow at the moment. So
also worth congratulating Paulie Orange, because although he didn't win today, from 5th to 2nd, really good drive from him. Very unlucky, and I think if it was anyone other than Chapelele, he would have got the win today. Just unfortunate for him. And Chapelele also gets the fastest lap, so that's 26 points. Chapelele finishes 1st, Paulie Orange 2nd, Droftas 3rd, Alan 4th. Emerson 5th, Nolsey 6th, Abbas 7th, Energisics 8th, Phil Razor 9th, FTH getting his first point. FTH getting his first point of the season, that's good to see. 10th, Dan Murphy just missing out 11th, Tango 12th, Fatality 13th, did bin it on the last lap, but it doesn't matter, he's classified anyway. And then Andreas did not finish, and as did the rest of them on your screen there. So that concludes the French Grand Prix then, and we were worried it was going to be a bit boring, but that rain really threw a spanner in the works, and we saw some really good wheel-to-wheel racing. We're just waiting for everyone to join the party, but I guess because Chapelele hasn't joined yet, we'll start with Droftas.
Oh, he's here.
Well, we'll start with P3 now anyway. I'll start. Droftas, P3 for you. You said to Velocity earlier you only need to get P4 to win the championship. So P3 for you, considering you're starting 15th, got to be happy with that, surely.
Oh yeah, really happy with that from that incident in Q1. So
yeah, talk us through what happened there.
Well, Ole said he tried to scare me, but instead he drove into me, which took my wheel off.
Interesting. Very interesting scare tactic. Scared you so much he took your wheel off.
I'm blaming Chapelele for putting that offer out of somebody taking me out. You do owe him 1,000, whatever it was, from last week.
Yeah, that is very true. But it didn't stop you getting on the podium nonetheless. And I bet that rain must have been a blessing for you, because you were progressing into the points positions, obviously on the hard tyre, but we know how much you love the rain, and that's really when you show what you're truly capable of.
Normally, yeah, but because I got disconnected before coming into the party, I had the default setup, so I couldn't really...
Oh, you did that whole race on the default setup?
I had no choice. It didn't let me choose one.
So you got P3 with a default setup. That is a hell of a flex.
It was a bit of luck with the timing of rain and people dragging out mediums and things, but I just stayed on the hards and waited. I
know how horrific that that default setup is, but yeah. Well, congratulations.
Changed what I could, obviously. But
oh yeah, of course. But it's not like I'm sure you don't have it all memorized.
The six wing wasn't ideal when it was raining. Beyond that, just after the safety car.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, congratulations on P3 and another big step to the championship. We'll now talk to second place, Paulie Orange. Obviously, you just narrowly missed out on the win, because even though you were in P2, obviously Chapelele had that penalty, and you missed out by 2/10 at the end because of that absolutely massive final push that Chapelele did. Are you disappointed to obviously miss out on the win, or are you quite happy with P2?
I'm happy with P2. I tried as hard as I could to keep within 3 seconds, but it's so quick in the wet and the dry. So
Yeah, it doesn't matter what
good.
condition.
P2's
Yeah,
good.
no, it is good, and you obviously practice quite a lot for that, so you must be happy with that. A bit disappointed with qualifying in terms of obviously you didn't manage to get that final lap in. Do you think you could have got pole?
No, top 4, I think, was my best bet, but you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Absolutely. Yeah. Either way, some very good points to you today, and a podium. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And now we go on to the race winner. Yet again, Chapelele, you're on absolute fire when it comes to winning these races. You've won the past 3 or 4 now, and really on a charge. How was that race for you?
Well, I made a pretty good strat car, because my tires wouldn't have made it to the rain, and I don't even know how he managed it, but yeah.
They were in the late 70s.
After that, the safety car pretty fucked me. Then after that, the VSC came out, and then I had less time to pull the 3-second gap, and yeah, I just made it.
Yeah, you left it to the last minute, final lap.
I had no choice.
Yeah. It's incredibly close.
Pretty good.
And of course, pole position, you're finally sort of... Because obviously at the start, when you first joined, you were really quick, but you'd invalidate a lot in qualifying and start lower down, but you're finally getting those pole positions, and that obviously makes it a lot easier for you.
Well, my Q2 was a bit close, but
yeah,
I made it in the end, so yeah.
Indeed you do. And although it looks like the championship is going to be out of your reach, you can just keep on winning, and you might end up, who knows, you might end up with more wins than Droftas by the end of the championship at this rate. But
I haven't won many. I think I've only won about 3 or 4. I've just keep coming on the podium.
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, I think you have only won 4.
I've only won a few.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, so you probably already matched Droftas win, but yeah, congratulations on the win nonetheless. And I'm sure we'll speak to you next week. Here's the form that you're in. So yeah, from me and Velocity, thank you everyone for watching. I do feel sorry for Phil because he didn't get in the top 5, and I think Leonardo won't look too kindly on that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.